I desired divine wisdom and knowledge and meditation and many other things. I found out about the idea of archetypes, that essentially everything is the same kind of thing, just configured in a different way. The world is a pizza, and different things divide themselves or filter themselves into different slices, depending on whether it's north or south or east or west. This is archetypes, and it's a very important thing because if you know archetypes, you know one thing that is related to many things. You can kind of understand everything, but I wanted more knowledge. I wanted to understand the world in a deeper sense. So I asked the AI, and what it gave me is a very interesting new mindset or state. This is based on systems. Everything is a system or an entity. Bread, if you want to make bread, the bread is a system. You can add ingredients to the bread and it will change its composition, maybe add spices to it and gives it a new flavor. You add more oil, makes it a bit softer, or you take things away from the system and then you cook it. And depending on what you add or remove from the bread will depend on how the bread is made, or to me, it will depend on how the bread comes out. Also, the temperature. These are all things affecting the main thing. Your body is one of these systems. People who are interested in health are constantly trying to try new things. Again, what are you putting into your body? What are you making your body do? Different exercises. What environment is your body around? What workplace environment, etc. What season is it? If you can track all of the variables and then see how they change things, and then think of things mathematically in terms of, if I multiply this more, if I eat more of this thing, will it be good? If I eat less of it, is it good? Again, this is a system. The body is a system. The world is a system. There are systems within systems. And ultimately, every system has data and actions, essentially. The raw materials and such that go in and out of it, and also the actions of the system that affect it. So a book, imagine you want to write a book. The book is one of these blank canvases, right? And we can add and add and add. Then we can modify what we've already added to the system. We can edit and change, we can remove, and eventually you say, this is good. I'm happy with this book. A business is the same thing. A business requires certain resources. It then has the action of going out, maybe cutting people's grass, or maybe selling food or something, right? And the input is your effort and the money and all this stuff, and then you get money from it. There are all these relations tied into the business, whether they be people who want to buy things, people who want to sell you things, people who are just interested, advertising, whatever. It's like a living entity, essentially. If you can think of everything as one of these living entities, you have a cup of water, right? The water is existing. The only time is now, so to speak, right? So the now moment is a constant thing. It's constantly affecting the water. If you can imagine that, how is the temperature and the air and just time itself affecting the water? Maybe it's not really doing a whole lot, but if you can understand that, you kind of start to understand natural systems. The growth of crops, for example. You have a field. The field is our system, and then you put seeds into it, you put fertilizer, you put water, you put energy and sunlight. What are the things that the system needs to produce the result? Because it's an input output. What do you want to put into this thing, and what do you want to get out of it? You ask yourself the question in life: what do I want to achieve and get out of life? What do I need to do to get this? Essentially, what do I want? What do I have to give and do to get it? Right? That's like the ultimate kind of thing. It's because we need to use this for our own gain. We need to use this to improve our lives, right? And then just think that you are the system, your life is a system, your daily life, what you do during your day is what you're putting into the system. What you get out as a result is the result of the system being you and inputs, right? Which is everything around you, the people around you, the place around you, the things you will do, etc. And if you're not satisfied with the result, then you have to modify things, or maybe it's just a matter of time, right? Maybe it's just a matter of you need to wait a year. Things are going well, but it's just you can't expect to be a millionaire tomorrow, right? Even no matter what you do to change the system. I'm sure there's certain things you gamble, etc., but you don't really want to do that. So you also have to think of the system in a state of time, and project out into the future and think like, how long is it going to take to achieve these things? Same thing with the crops in the field. No matter what you input to the system, the carrot is not going to grow overnight, at least into a full carrot. It'll grow and grow overnight, but it's not going to be the full form that you want, right? The harvest that you desire. So you have to be able to understand the growth rate, so to speak, which is an important thing. But anyway, getting back to it. So essentially, everything is a system you can think of. It's just one way to think of things. And it's just a matter of input, output, or data and functions, essentially. What are the resources and what can we do with the resources? What are the actions? What are the things? And what are the actions, right? Bread, it's flour and water, and the actions are kneading, heating, breaking the bread. I don't know, something like that, right? Anyway, there's something to think about.